My name is Caden. I'm an investor and an entrepreneur. Just the other day, my friend Maleek was asking me how he could get started with cryptocurrency. Because of this, me and my business partner Armoni decided to make a video of us talking about cryptocurrency. But not just any specific cryptocurrency, Helium HNT, a network that me and him are both heavily invested in. This right here is my Bobcat 300. I have many of these miners and I have newer versions as well. We're going to be talking today about what exactly this machine does. Nothing in this video is meant to be financial advice. It's just us talking about our experiences, things we've done, been through, and learned. Hey Maleek, do you know anything about tokenomics or like just any of this stuff right here?
I don't. They actually look like stocks a little bit, to be honest with you.
So this is Helium. This is the project I was telling you about. This right here is the market cap. That's basically how much money is in the project, how much money people have invested in the equity of the overall project. Right now it's worth $219 million, the project. Just this one project. It's for 24-hour trading volume. There's been just under 5,000 moved in the last 24 hours. It's nothing crazy, but the real estate, the crypto market's been taking a dump recently.
Really? Why do you say that?
The last year, over a year and a half, we've been in like a crypto recession. Prices have been going crazy down.
Wow.
I think we've reached the bottom already. We're on our way back up, but time will tell. This right here, the max supply, that's this HNT token. There can only be this amount, 223 million of them in existence ever. There won't ever be more than 223 million, you know.
Okay.
And
honestly, I feel like we should really address or start off with what money is in general, if I'm being quite honest with you. Because a lot of people, in terms of trying to teach people financial literacy, don't even understand that, well, for one, that Nixon freaking threw off the dollar amount, you know what I'm saying, in terms of not even being backed by the government, or not even in terms of being backed by the government, or what interest is, you know what I'm saying, or not even just what interest is, what inflation is in general, or what that actually means to the dollar amount, you know what I'm saying, in terms of what our dollar is actually backed in, and it's not backed in gold anymore, and a lot of people are still ignorant to that fact. So I feel like we should really just start off with what is fiat currency, you know?
yeah, I agree. I'm sure you understand all. You know all that.
Fiat currency.
You know that how money used to be just a value. To show a piece of paper that shows value compared to gold, it used to there used to be gold backing money.
Yep.
And then you know the whole fractional reserve system, where for every dollar you put in the bank, they can lend out $10 for every. So if you put, basically they can 10x your money. They can create 10 times the money that you put in there just out of thin air. You know about all that, right?
That part I didn't know about, but
Yeah.
gold standard, fiat money, I learned about all of that in college.
Yeah, money is literally debt. That's how it comes into existence now. That's the only way they create money is through debt.
Through debt.
But that's the thing that I like about cryptocurrencies. Like, you know, they could print $1 trillion tonight, but cryptocurrency, on the other hand, this HNT token, there's only 223 million that will ever be in existence. They could print $223 million tonight. You know what I mean? So that right there gives cryptocurrency value, because there's a limited supply and demand.
Right.
This
is a strike right here.
Not even just that, but that the Federal Reserve, you know what I'm saying, isn't actually federal. It's just named the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
What inflation is in general is more or less that they're putting more paper out there, which is quite literal, institutionalized forgery. You know what I'm saying? It's legal and institutionalized forgery, and we are allowing it to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, there's nothing federal about it. The Federal Reserve's own. You know who the Federal Reserve's owned by and who operates it and everything, right?
Yeah. Thanks.
The banks, yeah. You know,
the FDIC and all that.
have you ever heard about the meeting that happened on Jekyll Island?
Jekyll Island? Oh my god.
What was it?
It's literally all the institutions gathering in one place, discerning as to how they were going to pretty much develop the American dream to buy a home so that way they can pretty much rug pull the rest of the nation, in a sense.
Hey Armani, I've never talked to you about this. That's cool that you know about it too.
That's crazy. So, get into a little bit more detail about that because I've never heard about it. Set him up on the camera to see his face too.
Oh yeah.
Go in a little bit more detail about what you mean by that. What was it called again?
The monster that lies on Jekyll Island.
The monster that lies on Jekyll Island.
And it's pretty much the biggest institutions of every major bank coming together, like Chase, Wells Fargo, onward and so forth. And they pretty much collect themselves together into one room and just say, alright, well, how can we come out on top and everybody else have to make it work? More or less.
It's how the Federal Reserve was founded, how it was created. The Federal Reserve is literally owned by Chase and all these big banks. It's not owned by the government.
That's interesting.
But then again, a lot of people can even stem that back to, like, with every great, well, what they used to say is that with every great fortune came an even bigger crime, which is very much true. Like, you can look back to any of the presidents, the Roosevelts, how they were, the Kennedys, you know, the Roosevelts were in the opium trade, and that's how they got their wealth and power, in turn to get them political position.
I don't know if I would say any great fortune, because I do believe that there's people that have made it pretty far, that have good intentions.
Yeah, but not as far as, like, the
yeah,
people
not to that
abuse the
extent.
system,
I know what you're saying. Not to that extent. So cryptocurrency, I'm gonna just go on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the, I guess, gold standard of cryptocurrency. Whatever Bitcoin does, everything else kind of copies.
fluctuates off of.
But in the past, when Bitcoin made these big highs like this, if you look at news articles from this time period, all over the media at that time, all over the news, they're telling you buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's gonna go to 100,000. Bitcoin's gonna go to 100 to a million, whatever. And then this happens, and then
it just crashes.
It just crashes the crash started December 2017. It hit its very bottom December 2018. So it crashed for a year. That's not that long, honestly. But if you look at this time period, the news and everyone's telling you crypto's a scam. Crypto's like, don't sell all your Bitcoin.
Like a red scare.
Yeah, they're scaring everybody. Basically, everyone's talking down on it, and then this happens.
And then it booms like just a little bit more once again.
Exactly, and then same thing right here. All good news, all good fucking attention on the media. Right here, all bad news, all bad attention.
And then it fucking skyrockets.
Me personally, I was in the crypto space during this time period. I started around right here, and I knew that this was the bottom. Bro, I'm telling you, like, I saw all the bad news. I saw, like, just there's more. I'm not gonna go too much into detail on specifics, but I just knew pretty much. But I didn't take action. I didn't put any money in that shit. I watched it go up. I knew it was gonna keep going up, and I fucked up. But
and it booms. It completely boomed. It almost doubled in production in that small time.
Look, right here, it was at under 4,000, and then it went from under 4,000 to
fucking damn to like
almost 70,000, 69,000.
Are you streaming audio right now?
Yeah, no, it's Trading View.
Okay. Do you think you can share that?
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen with you.
Just show. Reach.
I don't know why it's not letting me open my Discord.
That's crazy.
Hold on. Oh, there it is.
Huh. Look, that's the market. That's what you were just showing me.
Oh yeah, and that's my screensaver.
Uh-huh.
I have it there to really program it into my subconscious. And I mean, there's more things with market manipulation and shit, which is like what these markups are. But I mean, we can talk about that a different time. But right now, I believe that this is this all over again. I believe we're in that time period.
Okay.
I've been dumping money into cryptocurrency since around this time period personally, and I'm still to this day. I put another $500 in just 2 days ago, but.
At a dollar cost averaging, that's the best way to get in. Not only will you
From
not
where you
lose
initially
the
started
majority
to
of
right now,
what you
it's
put in
like
over the
it's
long
gonna
run,
grind.
but
Yeah.
it'll also make a big turn of profit in the long run.
Yeah, in the long run, definitely. But basically, the reason why I brought Bitcoin up is because this is the gold standard of crypto. Bitcoin goes up, everything else does for the most part. Bitcoin goes
Everything
down.
has to follow. Everything has to follow.
It might not always be like that, but right now that's how it is. But
Yeah, until,
Bitcoin,
well, Ethereum and their Web3 projects, I mean, that hasn't been, that's always been on the launch for a couple years.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all like, I mean, I care about what's happening right now. Everything else is speculation, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Everything
We'll
else
look at
is
Meta real quick.
Meta, the stock. It's been fucking going off. I know. I bought some down here.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So what Meta has been trying to do is that they've been trying to re-implement what NFTs are in terms of what it's going to be or meaning to the virtual space, which is going to be totally revolutionary. I don't know if you guys have heard about the first digital island that we're going to get.
We already have a crypto island. It's been around for a few years now.
Crypto island?
Yeah, it's an island that's ran completely off cryptocurrency. They do cryptocurrency transactions. When you buy a piece of land or real estate, it's transacted through an NFT, which an NFT is just anything digital you can sell. You can create a song and sell it as an NFT. You can make a digital painting and sell it as an NFT. You can create an application like a phone app and sell it as an NFT. All it is unique code that can't be copied.
Right.
A lot of people think it's just like pictures and shit. That's not at all what it is.
To be honest with you, that's actually what I thought it was up until you just informed me.
Yeah, that's not at all what it is.
Well, it can be any form of art, you know what I'm saying? So like Gary V's NFTs are quite literally a ticket to be able to like even have a meal with Gary, have a meeting with Gary. You can go golfing with Gary. He's even gone fishing with people, or even just having an hour podcast with him.
He has a restaurant that you need to buy one of his NFTs to be able to eat there.
Amazon.
These are some things that I'm actually investing in. This is a Ethereum play that I got in a while back, and it's doing really good. Ethereum. It's completely different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just a blockchain. Bitcoin does nothing else but track transactions. What a blockchain is a ledger of transactions. You can go and see any transaction ever made on Bitcoin. That's all Bitcoin is. But Ethereum, on the other hand, you can build dApps, decentralized applications off of it. Ethereum is the backbone. You can make extensions off of Ethereum, if that makes sense. You can create apps, websites, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand.
But
that's your stock for Ethereum right there?
This is Ethereum itself.
Okay.
So when I bought, this was when I do bigger trades, I have a trading plan with a stop loss and everything. And that's what these are right here. This is that trade. I got in at 1,069. Right now it's at 1,778. And I also do, I've been dollar cost averaging because of how low prices are right now and shit. You know what dollar cost averaging is?
Dollar cost, I know. Explain it to me.
So just constantly throwing money on assets that you believe in. Like
I got you. I can go over this real quick.
Alright, go ahead. Tell me what it is.
So dollar cost averaging is pretty much you're going to take a portion of all your income, and whether or not it's your monthly income, your bi-weekly, or your weekly income, depending on how your pay period is set up, You're going to take a percentage of each one of those, and you're pretty much going to automate it to buy as soon as possible. So let's say that you get a weekly schedule, or if it's a bi-weekly schedule, then every 2 weeks a percentage out of that check would be sent directly into your purchasing power of any trading platform that you're in, and it would buy it at that cost dollar amount.
See, this goes back to what I was telling you before earlier. Like, it could be like it's made as something, like it's named something, whereas we do it every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't know the term.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, there's people who dollar cost average. Like there are, what's his name? He's Grant Stephan. If you know who that is, he's a really good finance influencer. He pretty much promotes financial literacy and a lot of different trading techniques and platforms and stuff like that. But what's really cool about him is that he actually manually dollar cost averages every single day. So instead of setting it up to an automated platform, he actually goes in and individually, like even if it's $5 for a particular platform that he wants to send it in, he actually manually inputs each and every order himself.
But here's a simple way to put it.
He's a millionaire.
You buy something at $10 today, it goes up to $20 tomorrow. You buy the same amount. You have an average of 15.
Okay.
You buy something at 10, it goes down. You have you buy more of the same amount at 5. You have an average of $7.50. You know what I mean? So I don't dollar cost average. I don't like. Think about doing it. I don't. In the past, I didn't like doing it. The only reason why I am right now is because we're in a crypto recession. Prices, even if prices go
pretty much discounted at this time right now.
So it's the best time to get in.
Yeah, even if prices continue to go down and I dollar cost average, when they go up, I'm doing good. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're at that point. Like we're at 2008 of real estate. Like if you would have bought damn near any property in 2008 or 2009, you'd be good right now.
Right, of course.
Yeah. Or just was able to beat the bank and not get foreclosed on within that time.
So for someone like me trying to dive into the crypto market, just to begin, what would I have to know in order to get started?
I mean, understand that what we just told you, and then there's a whole other side of it, which is miners and master nodes. That's like the backbone of cryptocurrency. So that's how these projects are ran.
Personally, how I started off is that, with cryptocurrency is that I really love technology. In turn, like any development or progress to it. So once I found out that my individual parts to my PC or to my computer or even just my regular laptop could actually be making me money passively, that's all we're really striving for in the end of the day, is to make passive income. Just to stop trading in our time for money in order to make it.
Right.
So in turn, like what we do with our investments are not only so that way we can stop going to work as much, but it's so that way we can stop working completely in a sense in turn. So that way we can stop trading in our time for money. But not even just that. So in turn, me like getting my first mine, in turn it would even just pay off like an electrical bill or a Wi-Fi bill, you know what I'm saying? In turn, that passive revenue was making sure that my living expenses weren't as expensive as they could have been.
Right.
Yeah, it starts off small, but it's all about scaling. It starts off just paying certain bills, whatever, but you keep doing it. You could do a lot more. But anyways,
because there's even CPU mining and then there's GPU mining, which is technically more profitable. There's 3 forms of mining, but did you want to get into like tokenomics real quick? You know
I mean, we already really did go over tokenomics when I was explaining him the market cap and the max supply and all that. That's tokenomics really. I mean, we could go more in depth, but I mean, for someone that doesn't know about any of this stuff, I don't want to. I know how overload.
Yeah. So
Explain the different types of mining.
It can kind of be simple as more or less playing a game of telephone with other computers, if that does make sense. So there's CPU and GPU mining. Technically, GPU mining has been seen to be a lot more profitable, only because the processing of a GPU is significantly more powerful than what a CPU can put out. But technically, that would be so. To put it into two different forms, it would be high latency versus low latency, and you would want to use low latency being your CPU for passive mining, meaning just running in the background. Like if you want to play video games and stuff like that, you would just do low CPU mining, which is just pushing through transactions on the blockchain. And then high latency CPU mining, or GPU mining, would be the high latency, and that of which would be more profitable, but it does take more time, energy, and power.
Okay.
So more or less, you would see things that are like full-on rigs with just multiple CPU or GPUs stacked along against each other, so that way they can run as much information as possible in order to make the highest dollar amount, or make as much of a coin as you can.
But what he's talking about is kind of outdated GPU and CPU mining. That's how mining started. Now it's transitioned.
And now there's ASICs, which are pretty much dedicated miners. They produce a lot of heat. They take a lot of energy, and it can be a little cost expensive, but typically on how many you own, they can be a lot more cost effective. And then there's also one of our favorite projects, which is Helium. It's a lot more green friendly in my opinion, mostly because it skips the processes of having to go through like the internet, for instance, and it does use reception through radio waves, which is really dope. So you can connect an antenna, and depending on how much reach the antenna is capable of having, then it actually can connect to other antennas. So in turn, what a block is, you would need to complete one block in order to get paid. And why that is important is because while you're constantly pushing or accepting transactions, what you're doing as a miner or an individual unit is you're just wanting to connect one to another, and then that other is going to be connecting to another, and then another, and maybe circle back to you.
Okay.
Now, what's really important about that is that you're pretty much going to have what are called ledgers, and they're pretty much big-ass sheets of code. These big-ass sheets of code are pretty much just going to run through each and every one of the connecting blocks, and once it can simultaneously link to one block to another, it can't be tampered. So that's the beauty of being a part of a blockchain, is that you can't tamper with one information being sent to one computer or the other.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna put it in simpler terms. Basically, what all the different nodes, miners, machines do, they just contribute to a project. So, like I have one, it's a Sidecoin miner. Okay. And what it is it holds storage. What Sidecoin does is it's a storage network. So like iCloud or like anywhere that you store data, store pictures, store videos, store anything.
Nothing different than like a cloud, if anything.
Yeah, it's my miner. I don't have it here anymore. I used to. It holds storage and I get paid for it. Basically, and the Helium one, he's talking about the one that uses radio frequencies, but the newer Helium miner, what it does is it creates a phone network.
Okay.
Mine is it's a satellite that it connects with someone else's satellite that connects with someone else's satellite, and each one of us that owns one of those, we're part owners of the network.
Okay.
We all get paid. We all get paid for it. We get paid like a royalty. The royalty for that specific one is mobile tokens, but I also get paid HNT, which is the their first cryptocurrency. Mobile's brand new. It hasn't even. I can't even claim my my income that I've made until like July, I think.
Okay. But it's still building up until that point, right?
Yeah, it's building up and it's going up in value as well. Like right now, the coin literally it's in Genesis right now, so its price is gonna be at least 10x in a couple months.
Wow! And that's when you're gonna be able to claim it. So.
That's speculation. It might be negative 10,
but you can only just wait and see.
Right. I mean, if you look at the history of
the risk of volatility in different cryptocurrencies, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the history of the project, it's always it's done good. It's a newer project, and it's still way higher than where it first started.
Yeah, no, for real.
Even if it's down, it's still way higher than when it first started.
Absolutely.
I mean, even if it goes below where it first started, which it started at zero, which it can't go below. So, I mean, getting into this right now, if you believe in the project and you think it's gonna go up like me, it's a hella fucking good time.
I mean, look at what it was before. Why wouldn't it not supersede that?
I mean, look, I want to show him some of the people that we partnered with as well. Look, Mobile Carrier, Nova Labs, and T-Mobile collaborate on crypto carrier Helium Mobile. So T-Mobile created a network. It's called Helium Mobile. It's a phone network. You can buy a SIM card and like have service on your phone. That the network's literally created by our miners. T-Mobile is a huge fucking company. That's
right,
huge.
Of course.
That's huge. Dish also. We're also partnered with Dish.
Okay.
Don't even forget what they're trying to do with data mining.
Well, you said what?
You would get started.
I forget what they're trying to do with data mining with their widgets.
Miner right there that I had seen in the photo above.
Yeah, I mean, if you want part ownership in the company and that passive income, then the miner's the best way. You could literally just buy some HNT. They're only $1.55 each. At all time highs, it was at $57. So I mean, you could turn $1.50 into $57-$58 and shit. With how volatile cryptocurrency is, a year or two, fucking. If you can turn $1.50 into that, imagine 1,500.
Right, exactly.
Now, what's really had a lot of people scared about the volatility in the different markets is really just like the different rug pulls that have happened due to like NFTs and stuff like that, but more or less getting celebrity names behind them onward and so forth, like the Paul brothers and shit like that. Which is more or less why you actually do have to do your due diligence and research as to what crypto projects you're volunteering in.
Yeah, right.
So like Helium's one example, you just gotta understand what Helium's.
Well, not even just that, but whether or not like they actually have intentions of having utility, you know? So like Bitcoin, it's a beautiful coin only because it's quite literally the gold standard of cryptocurrency, being that it's supposed to be fluently used in hand-to-hand with actual money, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to be used for. You're supposed to spend it and send it. But in turn of
like, it's the first of its kind. That's the main thing that gives Bitcoin, that makes Bitcoin what it is. It was the first blockchain. If anything, it's a nostalgia coin. It's a collectible. It's like a with silver coin, a collectible coin. You know what I mean?
Right.
In my opinion, it should be held as the gold standard. If not, there's like the only thing that could really get Bitcoin erased is if like we got hit with a solar flare and literally all miners had to shut down. So that's literally the only instance in that.
That's the thing about cryptocurrency. In order to shut down a project, every single miner in existence needs to shut down. So my miners that I have, everyone
have to be hit with a solar flare by the sun that just EMPs the entire Earth.
Right, type shit.
Which is very likely, but
that's just infinite possibility to passive income. Like you're just sitting on that, and it can fluctuate, but that's just with any market in and of itself. But
there's risk in anything.
Exactly, but it's a market that you can control more closely. You understand what I mean? Like that's really interesting when you put it that way.
That you brought up a good point. Wait, hold on. I want to say something. I want to bring up with a what's that shit called? Order book is. In cryptocurrency, they have order books, so you can. I kind of said this earlier. You can see every single transaction made.
Yeah.
In the stock market, only the banks can see that. We don't have access to that information, so cryptocurrency gives us more control.
Right. That's interesting too. Who wouldn't want more control in where they're investing their money into? You know.
Money, what were you saying?
Being able to see not even just every single transaction that is ever placed in the life's entirety of that currency's history, but also being able to show that it's incapable of being forged or copied or replicated. You can't just make another Bitcoin. That's infeasible. It's incapable of ever happening. Because the way it's fractioned off, so how transaction of Bitcoin works is you have the buyer and the seller, and then it has to go through two other computers. So you're making this block between the buyer and the seller, and it's intimately linked simultaneously to all four of these computers, or the participants. Then the fraction of each transaction is getting sent through each and then every individual until it's sent to A to B, and then they get a portion of each. Then they get a portion of the sale, being the gas fees that it would actually take to make that transaction, and that's how the blocks get paid.
Okay.
So pretty much, it's not just one transaction though. So it's gonna be an entire sheet, like that entire box is gonna be boxed in with more or less built in centimeter to centimeter of transactions, and then once each one of those four computers is able to process each one of those transactions, that's when the block is pushed through and you get paid.
It's more like a waiting game, if anything.
Yeah, it kind of is a waiting game, but more or less is that it's actually simultaneously going on right in front of your face. You're passively getting paid for pushing through these transactions, like Visa, MasterCard put through trillions of transactions a day.
Right.
And we are getting no kind of interest, like in terms of holding your money in the bank, you're getting 0.06%, which is about a penny. So, for instance, you open your first bank account. You put in $1,200 because that is the minimum that it takes to have that bank account. So if you pull any money from it, they're probably going to hit you with a withdrawal fee because you were incapable of sustaining the efficient amount to sustain that bank account. So upon that, you're getting interest on the money that you have within that account, typically being about 0.06%, which is about a penny a month for $1,200. Which means if you held that money in that account, you would get a solid 12 pennies out of the year.
Chase think our pay is only 0.01 or 0.02.
0.01.
Yeah, so some are even worse. Which in about, let me see, even as late as the 1960s, in turn, 50s, 60s. Yeah, between the 50s and 60s, you could open a bank account, and how they pretty much had the reputability of wanting to hold your money. Not only was it backed by the government, saying that if you got robbed, no matter what, if we got robbed, your money is backed by the government, and they will replace your funds. You know what I'm saying? Which is why you get these notorious bank scenes of, I'm not here to rob you for your money, I just want the bank's money. But in turn, for that safety, they were also incurring about 12% interest rate. Whoa, that's crazy! Up to 12%, which they do not offer anywhere anymore. So they try to diversify that by, telling you to buy stock shares and risk your money upon well, even opening up a CD, which is just pretty much, it's practically like a bond. You buy a certain amount of, or you loan them a certain amount of money, they hold it for a certain period of time, and you get a fraction of that back over the period of time until it's paid back in full on that given day, until it expires. But what they also don't tell you is that as soon as you're putting your money into a bank account, they're taking your money and they're throwing it into a $3.6 trillion loan pool, where they're loaning it out to John Does like me and you, and they're accruing anywhere from 10 to 12% interest on that loan that they're taking out on your hard-earned money.
Right.
But not even just that. Instead of waiting for that to go about and happen, they're also lending it out to insurance brokerages. And those insurance brokerages are holding that and actually giving them anywhere from about 9 to 10% interest just for holding that money.
So they're doing hella things with our money, not just
With your money, but you can't do anything with it, and they're gonna give you 0.06%, that penny a month.
You guys ever heard about what happened with Wells Fargo? How they stole their consumers' money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
was a
didn't hear
big
about
ass
that.
mortgage.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was like within like 5 years. 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago. Which is
That was the big
internally
finance
not
scandal when I was in
trustworthy
college,
for
dude. It
that
was crazy. I think corporate executives were having fake accounts with money in them, taking money or receiving money in those fake accounts and taking the money for themselves. I don't know too much in detail about it, but
So
I know that was the
basically
crazy.
like what happened with FTX thing, basically.
Not necessarily. So what happened with Wells Fargo is that they were pretty much taking every single direct deposit of like just random John Does, like old ladies. Like it would be a social security check even from the government. Like they didn't care. They genuinely did not care. They would take fractions of a penny and put it into these sweeping accounts, and then those fractions of a penny would accumulate up to billions and millions of dollars for every single swipe transaction, either going into the account or being spent out of the account. They were charging them fractions of a penny every single time that money was spent, which is
That's crazy.
like horrendous. Like that is horrendous. That is quite literally not only was it really smart to only take fractions of a penny, because who looks at a fraction of a penny?
Exactly.
Like nobody's gonna look at a fraction of a penny until they actually look at the gas price and realize that, oh, wow, so that's not 89. Well, that's not 289. That's 289.99. So as soon as I put in a few cents of more of gas, I'm actually spending a whole dollar more. You know? That accumulation actually does quintuple significantly fast. And it could go from anything from paying a bill just to freaking getting gas. And that's the ugly thing.
It's crazy that there's still a big bank. They're still on top.
Absolutely. And guess what? There's still a bad government. But I guess that's what you do when you own a big corporation, and then you let at least, well, even in turn, like nobody really thinks of a bank as a franchise, which is exactly what it is. It's a freaking franchise.
Exactly, but that's what it is.
They're being sold that property, and they're leasing out that property so that way they can make a profit. It's the same thing. It's like McDonald's, bro. Like, in turn, not only, well, they're not the biggest they are the world's biggest and most well-known burger chain. But more or less, they understood that they aren't in the selling burgers and milkshake industry. They're in the real estate industry. And they can sell burgers and fries and still make a profit off of it.
Have you ever seen the movie, The Founders?
Oh, The Founders, that's such a good movie, bro.
Have you ever seen
Such
it?
a good movie.
You should watch it. It's a good movie. It's about the guy. What's his name? Armoni?
The founder, ladies and gentlemen.
I
gotta remember the movie.
of
Watch it.